Welcome to another edition of Sports Junkies. I'm Steve Sparky, Fifer from AM 1250 and 105.7 FM, The Fan in Milwaukee. Of course, Gery Woelfel, columnist here at the Racine Journal-Times, as we do another edition of Sports Junkies, talking high school football, playoff edition high school football. We'll start in Division 1, and how about it for Horlick? Let's give it up. Horlick takes out Indian Trail. I thought they would have a chance at it, but in my heart of hearts, I didn't think they'd actually win. And they won. They beat Indian Trail. That's a big win.
I was on the Horlick bandwagon.
That's a big win.
2 or 3 weeks ago. I said, and the reason is
their defense.
Well, that's part of it. But Joe Garcia has impacted that team like few players can. He's probably a special athlete, And he's a sophomore. He played quarterback for him a little bit last year, and now he's playing running back, wide receiver slash. But I mean, he's a kid that can impact a game, and he has. So, with him and Adams is healthy. They played well. Now the problem is
it's over now.
They played Goliath.
It was a nice run, but it's over now. I mean, it's Franklin, it's done. But either way, it was a nice run. I mean, if I'm Horlick, I look at this and go, okay, look, boys, we're going to play this quarter by quarter. Let's just try to win each quarter. Let's not look at the final score. Let's just try to win quarters. So if it's 7-3 after one, we're happy, right? If it's 14-14 at half, we're ecstatic. Just give yourself a chance to be in it in the fourth. That's what you want.
Absolutely.
Just give yourself a chance.
You know, what they did last week, they ran the ball exclusively. And I think if they want to have any kind of chance against Franklin, they're going to have to go to the air.
Yeah.
They're going to have to mount some kind of a passing attack because Franklin's going to know darn well coming in they got to stop Adams and they got to stop Garcia. And they're going to, design their defense for those two players. So if I'm Horlick, I put the ball up every once in a while. I might even come out in first play or two and just throw Franklin off.
I'll be honest with you. The winner of this game gets Oak Creek versus Muskego winner. Okay?
Right.
I love Bartholomew at Oak Creek. That's one of my guys. But I don't think they can beat Franklin. So I think what I want Muskego to win, to see if Muskego can beat Franklin. Because in my heart of hearts, I think Franklin's winning the state championship. I think they're that good. I don't think anybody can beat them.
Well, nobody's.
But Muskego is so big up front and physical that they could present problems, I think, for Franklin. But if Oak Creek beats Muskego, I love Bartholomew and Oak Creek. I just don't know.
I mean, clearly Franklin's the cream of the
best team in the conference
in this area of the state. Right. What they're going to do after that, who knows?
Well, Arrowhead too, but again, we'll have to wait and see how this whole thing plays out. So that's Division 1. Division 2.
Now, this is the game of the games.
Now, just hold 1 second.
Okay.
Public service announcement.
Public service. I can't wait for this.
The Woodland Conference won very good this year. If you didn't know that, you know now. They had one team in the Woodland win over the weekend. One. Whitnell. Maybe it's St. Francis. That doesn't really count. That's it. That's all. One. Everybody else in that conference lost. Pewaukee lost. Greendale got hammered. Greenfield got beat by Union Grove. We'll talk about that game with Cook's team. Everybody got beat in that conference in the playoffs in the opening round outside of it.
And your point is what? There's still one team alive, isn't there?
No, there's 2 points. One, the Southern Lakes is much better than people want us to give credit for.
That is one
way better. And I don't know what the coaches in the Woodland thought going in. I know Joe Cook, who does our coaches show on Saturdays. I know he knew how good the Southern Lakes was because we had talked about it. I don't know about the other coaches in that conference. If they questioned how good the Southern Lakes was, they don't anymore.
Okay, let me tell you a quick story. I covered the Waterford game last Friday night.
Yep.
Wauwatosa West.
Wauwatosa West.
Okay. Adam Bakken was fired up.
Because of the seeding.
Because of the seeding, and rightfully so. I don't know if you heard this. The Wauwatosa West coach seeded Waterford where? What do you think? Take a guess. Waterford, which had a great year, one loss.
8 seeds. I'll say they seeded them 5th.
Yeah, 4th.
Fourth.
I mean, give me a break, I mean, that's ridiculous.
Where did he seed his own team, though?
I don't know about that.
That's what I wanted.
But the point is, you don't diss Waterford like that. I mean, you're just giving them all the more incentive, and that's all he needed. I mean, they just blew him out.
Right. And they win 28-0, obviously. Union Grove takes care of Greenfield 27-6. And I'll be honest with you. Union Grove does what?
Why? You normally lie to me?
What does Union Grove do? They throw the ball, right?
Yes.
What did Union Grove do? Ran the ball. Said, too rainy, don't want to deal with the quarterback center snap, so we're just going to pound the ball against Greenfield. And it worked. They controlled the line of scrimmage with their line, and that's how Union Grove won the football game. And that's scary. Because now you have that to look at, and now you're going, oh, great. So now the weather conditions aren't good. They're going to pound the rock. And if they are favorable, they can wing it all over the place. Union Grove's a tough team. And now Waterford, very good, obviously, but they've played each other.
Absolutely.
So now it's going to come down to coaching adjustments and who does what coming up in this game.
Yeah, and I think the Nelson-Peterson passing combination is as good as it gets around here. I mean, like you said, the running game showed up. But that passing game is there, too. You know it's there. It's been a constant basically all season. When these two teams played during the regular season, it was 30-24. It was a close game. It wasn't like, hey, we're blowing you out, and all of a sudden, Union Grove's coming back. This is going to be a heck of a game.
I just don't know. And this tends to be an issue with Waterford, at least what I've noticed over the time. Yeah. Coach Balkin, don't be mad at me.
Don't get mad at you.
But to me, I tend to think that when people spread Waterford out defensively, Waterford tends not to be the same good defensive team. When they're playing a team that runs the football, they beat the snot out of that offense. But when you spread Waterford out and try to make them defend the pass for 4 quarters, I think they're susceptible to skimming up some points.
I would have agreed with you, especially last year. I don't know about this year. I was so impressed with their defense. I mean, they're a swarming defense. It's like they always
very good.
They usually had 2 or 3 guys go to the ball. Very physical. I mean, what do you expect from a Balkans team? By the way, congratulations to Coach McClellan.
Oh.
Did you see this?
No.
Did you hear? He was chosen the Green Bay Packers Coach of the Week.
Nice! That's awesome! Yeah. Congratulations!
Yeah, so
way to go, Craig. They just got electricity last week. Waterford and Union Grove.
Let it go.
No, sorry. That's a joke I've been telling for 15 years.
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, probably since
long time. It's all right. But I'm telling you what, we were talking about this the other day too, me and a couple of coaches. You talk about Union Grove, that area is booming.
Absolutely.
Big time. And one coach told me that they could be a power for years to come in this part of the state in football because of the population boom and how good this coach is.
Well, McClellan's a heck of a coach. We've talked about that in previous Junkies. So, again, I think that's just going to be a terrific game. You got a high-powered offense against an outstanding defense. So
yeah, no question. All right, Division III, no games of note here as far as Racine schools go. We move on to Division IV. Again, no schools of note in Division IV. Division V, there is St. Catherine's. They beat St. Joe's.
Yeah.
See, playoff start. Dan Miller says, all right, boys, let's play for real now. Regular season's over. And dispose of St. Joe's, who was undefeated for majority of the year until Catholic Central.
Yeah, you know, they've had kind of a roller coaster season. They played well at times, not so well at times, but they played Marshall.
But their only conference loss was to Catholic Central.
Exactly.
They beat St. Cat too.
Exactly. So they've won 3 of their last 4 games with the exception of Catholic Central, which we expected. I mean, Catholic Central is in a league by itself in my mind. But now, this game Friday night, I fully expect St. Catherine's to win again.
To beat Marshall?
Absolutely, no question. And it's at Marshall, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
That game is at Marshall, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, that gives them somewhat of an advantage.
But Gary, 0-0 to overtime.
Yeah.
I mean, St. Joe's, 0-0 to overtime. It was scoreless to overtime.
Right.
How many times do you see that? You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. But, give Dan Miller a lot of credit.
Absolutely.
I mean, this team's had some injuries. They've had some. Well, they're battling youth, number one. So.
And Charlotte Lutheran, the other team in that conference, they beat Brook Academy 37-0. They get Cedar Grove, Belgium now. And I don't know anything about Cedar Grove, Belgium, so we'll find out. But they're the 1 seed. That's all you need to know there.
I could tell you something about Belgium.
Yeah. Division 6, nothing really to talk about there. Division 7, Catholic Central puts a hurting on Blackhawk. No surprise, 49-22. They get Cassville next. But this game is at Catholic Central again. Cassville coming off a 54-6 win of number 6 Randolph.
It's going to be ugly.
Really?
Catholic Central is good. I'm not saying good. They're really good. And Cole Kreskin, I always thought he was a good running back, but I had a chance to see him a couple weeks ago. He is the best running back in the county. He's the most valuable player in the county. He made a mistake in that game. He fumbled the ball, The next time he got the ball, he broke it. I mean, huge game. He just annihilated people.
Make up for it.
Yeah, I mean, he is a franchise-type running back at that level.
He is Gery Woelfel of the Racine Journal-Times. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer, AM 1250, 105.7 FM. The Fan will talk to you next week. Talk more high school football with you here at RacineSportsZone.com.